Hey guys, I'm breathing a little hard. Went and got my camera because I got a couple more hikers that just come out to Waya Picnic Crest area, and they're actually blogging, so I want to make sure I get them on and let them say something about their YouTube or how they're blogging. Sorry I'm so much out of breath. I'm not a hiker. Just went and got the camera. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Baskets. I've done the AT in 17, and I'm back on it just to do it again for fun.
Are you going to do the whole thing this year?
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to have 2 through hikes of the AT.
When did you summit in 17?
June 27th.
Yeah, we helped a bunch of people in 17.
I missed you by like an hour in Damascus. You were interviewing like some of my friends that stayed there, and I must have left for Subway or something.
And we did a big jambalaya there, maybe at the same time. Sure did. Let me get who's with you.
I'm Julie. I haven't through hiked at all yet.
But you're attempting.
I'm attempting. I've done a lot of hiking though. I started hiking when I was like 17. I did a lot of hiking groups, just in the tri-state area of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and just around that area. So I've hiked a lot, but this is my first time trying to.
And you're on the trek. Tell them about that, so if they want to go watch or
So if you want to watch my vlogs, because we're both videotaping, so if you want to watch us, you type in the trek on YouTube. There's like a mountain picture. Click it. You can click on playlists, and I'm Julie.
Julie? Okay.
And then for him, he's Baskets. So just Baskets AT or Baskets CDT in the YouTube search.
Are you going to go by Julie all year, or are you going to get a trail name?
I don't know. I haven't gotten a trail name yet. Nobody's really given me one.
What you think about that Basket? You think she'll get one?
She might get one.
Okay.
I don't know.
She might. She's been carrying a candy bar for over 100 miles. I'm like, I think the candy bar is going to get a trail name before you will.
I think it's like a protein bar. I found this protein bar at the hiker box in Neal's Gap, and I haven't eaten it yet. I've just been carrying it with me this whole time.
Yeah.
Hey, Baskets, tell me a little bit, since you through hiked in 2017, when did you start thinking about coming back out again this year?
Like pretty much right away.
Really?
The experiences, the milestones, there's so many on the AT, and like the first state, the second state, the 100 miles, getting into Damascus, getting to Hot Springs, like every trail town I was in love with. Like some weren't the greatest trail towns, but even like I find things that I liked even in like these smaller trail towns. And I told myself, I'm like, if I have an opportunity to get back on and try to do it again, I think I'd.
You didn't want to do the PCT like most of them?
I've done the CDT. I was gonna do the PCT this year, but I don't want to deal with like desert and sun shining on me like all day and just burning and dealing with water and all that, like long hitches into towns, and there's so much involved with the PCT that like.
Yeah.
It's not as attractive to me as like hiking this.
Oh God, I think my battery pack is just going out. We'll go ahead and say bye for now, but I'll catch y'all up the trail. I got a lot of questions for you. I really would like to get some thoughts for the future through hikers. For sure. Because I'm gonna try to say this before I lose my battery. If you had to guess, is it an advantage or disadvantage hiking having hiked it before?
I'm gonna say maybe it's a disadvantage because like that passion and drive of doing your first through.
Hey guys, we are at Wolf Creek Hostel. That's Toccoa. That's the first blacktop road after the NOC. I've got somebody here that I've seen. I've been around a good bit, but we hadn't had a chance to get him on camera. Go ahead and tell us your name, your trail name, and anything you want to share with us.
My trail name's Getting There.
Getting There. Spell that.
It's 2 words, but you got to redneck it up when you say it and make it one. But
Getting
no second G typically.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Got to put that little pause.
That's right.
Getting.
Yeah. Now tell me how you got that name.
My hiking partner at the time pointed out that that's something I seem to say a lot. She'd ask me if I was ready to go, and I'd say, "Getting there." Are we at the top of the mountain yet? Getting there. So.
It kind of fits you, didn't it?
It fits. It's one of these. Yeah. I said it one time too many, and it suddenly, we looked at each other, and it's like that sounds like a trail name.
And I know your real name's Joel.
Yes, sir.
Joel, how long you been thinking about doing the Appalachian Trail?
Literally years. I've been section hiking for 4 or 5 years now. So So I'd already done most of Georgia and all the way up to Fontana, and then up in Central Virginia. But I'd been thinking about it literally decades. I used to have a friend in college, a little older.
Really?
And he'd actually done two through hikes in '79 and in '81, and used to talk about it a lot, and just sort of fascinated. I was sort of fascinated by it, and you know how the trail is. It's kind of like this thing that gets under your skin or won't get out of your head, and
works on you.
It really does. It really does. So for me, I'd been working doing corporate IT, and I guess you could say the job went away, and I suddenly found myself with time on my hands, and instead of jumping right back into the rat race, I mean, that was kind of my first impulse. I thought, you know, wait a minute, maybe this is an opportunity. So I just decided to take an extra 6 months and take my through hike.
Now, since you section hiked more, when you used to section hike, how many nights or days would you normally go out?
Typically I could only get a week off at a time.
Okay.
So short sections.
Now and that's good, I'm glad you're saying that, because there's a lot of section hikers that watch our channel that's thinking about doing a through hike. Give them share a little information with them about the biggest difference you see as section hiking versus through hiking.
It's a little easier, I think, section hiking to learn as you go.
Okay.
You know, certainly my first kind of loadout in terms of equipment. I remember a trail angel up in Virginia, which is where I went to move my pack, and she just put it right down. She said, "My goodness, that's heavy." And you know, I mean, my pack at the time was a Gregory Savant 58, and that thing's almost 4 pounds by itself.
Wow.
So over the course of a couple of years and several trips, you sort of learn how to do it. Lighter gear, better technique, how to use your stuff. And, you know, it's not like somebody who just decided a couple of months ago, I'm going to through hike, and they go to REI or wherever, and they drop a bunch of money and they just buy stuff. And then they find themselves sort of stepping off at Springer, and I mean, that's jumping in the deep end of the pool all at once.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So yeah, I mean, you get to kind of learn as you go, incrementally, and there's not a lot at stake for any one trip.
All right.
So that was a big thing. So now that I'm trying to through hike, right now, I mean, I've hiked through here before, so it's kind of familiar territory. And
now, how is that an advantage or a disadvantage?
You know, it
or a little of both.
Maybe a little of both. You know, it goes hand in hand with. My thought was I didn't really expect a lot of surprises.
Okay.
You know, I mean, because I'd already sectioned and I knew my gear and all of that.
Sure.
And, so the same thing with the terrain. On the other hand, the trail's not static. I mean, there's a lot of change. I mean, when I called Lonnie to come pick me up, I was, you know, I originally today was planning to go all the way to Cable Gap.
Right.
But I think I said to you, after the trail tried to kill me 2 or 3 times coming down because it was so slippery, I decided that maybe today's not my day. So, because the first time, a couple of years ago, when I came down Stokoa Gap, I had a tremendous fall, slippery rocks, and just it was bad. I mean, and that time too, I ended up calling a different hostel, but.
Well, that would have been interesting if you would have hurt yourself real bad on today of all days. I know that today's your birthday.
It is.
Congratulations! They got a birthday cake in there for you.
That's right.
Artemis, and some of them's inside, and we're going to go in there and eat some cake in a little while, I hope. But did you think? I mean, you knew when you was getting ready to come out, you was going to spend your birthday. Did you think you was going to have to spend it in the rain, cold weather like you're doing?
Well. I was pretty sure that I'd be somewhere on trail, you know, but when I woke up this morning, and it was a much nicer morning than the day turned out to be.
Yeah, it was.
But, you know, I unzipped my tent because I was just at a tent site, and yeah, I looked out the door and was sitting there in my sleeping bag making coffee, and I couldn't think of any place I'd rather be.
That's great. That's fantastic.
You know?
Now, do you have any places up the trail that you're already looking forward to?
You know, I've never hiked south of Delville in Virginia, and that's where kind of the Virginia Triple Crown is. I just know there's, they're just landmarks along the trail that if
Sure.
you're kind of a fan or it's been part of something you've thought about for a while. Max Patch is a big one. Obviously doing the Smokies is a big one.
Maccabee Knob, Tinker Cliff,
exactly.
Dragon's Tooth, all that.
Getting up in the whites.
Oh yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
Just
You'll
all
enjoy
those,
that.
All of those, and frankly, a big part of it is to think I'll see it all, and I'll see it all by walking there. I recently had my hiking partner recently sort of had to drop off the trail for a few days, and hopefully we'll catch back up with each other. But when we were sitting there discussing her decision, and I understood why she had to do it, my only response, she asked me what I was going to do, and I said, well, I'm through hiking.
There you go.
So the answer to almost every question is you just keep walking.
That's right. That's right. That's a great attitude.
And I think that's for me at least, that's how you finish.
And you find already, you're here with a different family tonight, and kind of a unique group of people here tonight with you. It is. And actually sitting out and talking about looks like y'all may all go in the Smokies on the same time.
And it may be. And I think it's really everybody taking advantage of a window of good weather.
That's right.
Which in the Smokies is, I've had section hikes that I had to just abandon because of unexpected bad weather.
And what he's talking about, guys, we've looked at the forecast, and the next day is bad rain. Tomorrow's bad rain, and then maybe the next day a little bit, but then we're going to have warmer temperatures and no rain for 3 or 4 days.
Right.
And you can go a long ways in 3 or 4 days
Absolutely.
At this stage in the Smokies and get out of them and get that behind you.
And with all the rain that we've had this year so far, the idea that we could have a 3 or 4 day window.
That's great. Yeah.
Where where you're not fighting the weather, that's huge.
Yeah. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I told you I wanted a few minutes of your time, and you politely have given it to us. I think we're going to all go eat dinner over here to the restaurant to my left here in a few minutes. And like I said, maybe get to come back and get some cake. Joel, anybody you want to say hello to before we close it out?
Actually, I've got a couple of friends at home. I don't know if a friend that's helping me, actually let me park my truck in her front yard and said she'd drive around the block every couple of weeks.
You told me that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So to Denise in Jacksonville, Florida, thank you so much. You have done more than you know to make this possible.
Great. Fantastic. Well, listen, God bless every step between here and Katahdin, and looking forward to spending some time with you tonight.
I'm looking forward to it too, Mr. Jimmy. Thank you, sir.